Arnie with the Health, Love, and Life, an adventure show, and our first show for the new year, 2022. And we're going to talk about pain. But first, if the best way to get a hold of me right now is just call me 602-390-9144. You can email me as well. I literally took all my websites down. We are redoing everything. And for me, that's like a nightmare because that's not what I do. But I had to stop the confusion because there was a lot of confusion out there as what I was doing, where I was doing it, where I could go. So I've got somebody that's trying to help me, at least a simple little way. So just call me. But today we're going to talk about alignment, the key to pain-free living, because we really want to talk about how do you get to pain-free living? Don't we all want that? I mean, I know I do. That's kind of why I want to start off the new year with this topic, because a lot of the stuff that I do when I put my exercise physiology hat on is helping individuals get to a place where they feel like doing things, and I came to that a while back, well over a year ago, as I was developing my Grand Canyon training program for individuals that wanted to learn how to navigate the Grand Canyon, because that's a big place. And it's a big, heavy physical lift to get there for most folks. But I would say 90% of the individuals were telling me, oh, I can't do that. We didn't even get the price. I can't do that physically. My knees hurt. My feet are horrible. My back, I'm too heavy. I mean, I heard it all. And finally I thought, well, so about a year ago, after I was doing that for a few months, I said, why don't I just train these people? I got to get them ready. Got to get them ready for life. Forget the Grand Canyon. I mean, that's a dream. How about life? How about just living? How about just feeling like you can move and be free and have some energy in your life? And because so many people are just so impacted by pain. I mean, we're talking about physical pain right now. We'll get to psychological, mental pain. We're not even going to get into spiritual pain, but it's all kind of related. So, and sometimes physical pain is related as well. It's a byproduct of all of that. But the physical pain, that if I knew that if I could help somebody eliminate physical pain in their life, they would feel better like that. That's it. And so that was the quest. That became my quest. How could I do that? How could I help them feel better physically? Because see, just like movement, and we've talked about this before, just like you standing up and moving was a powerful way to almost instantaneously feel better. You could change your state in a second by jumping up and down off your chair. If you're working at your desk, I promise you, if you're somebody that works at your desk 8 hours a day, or you're on your computer, or you're whatever you're doing, if you're working at a factory, or you have some other type of job that has you doing something that's monotonous all day, if you took a 30-second break every hour and just jumped up and down, if you can jump, or try to jump, or move your arms, or dance, 30 seconds, I promise you at the end of the day, you're going to feel 100% better. That's a promise, because I already know what movement does. We feel better. How many people do it, though? No one. I mean, I know even myself, sometimes like today, I was locked in on a project and I had to tell myself to get up and go do something, because normally I'm moving all day long. But I know the importance of movement. Most people do and don't. Everybody knows that you should exercise, but 50% of the people in this country don't. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's much higher than that. 50% of the people in this country don't move. How about that? I'm talking about move. Like they sit, they'll look for the closest parking spot at the grocery store, and they try. And look what happened the last 2 years. All these Uber companies were developed so you don't even have to move off your couch. So it's gotten worse. It definitely has not gotten better, especially when they close down your gyms. So movement has become even harder. Not harder to do, because you can still move your arms and legs, but harder to be inspired to do. Like, I have to go to the gym. I have to go to the park. I have to go, whatever. I have my friend come over. Well, my friend doesn't want to come over because you never know. My friend could kill me. I was talking to that this morning to somebody. They lost a friend because they thought the friend thought they were going to kill him. Made it harder, didn't it? Absolutely. So physical pain has been tougher to eliminate because of lack of movement. But physical pain can be eliminated with strategic movement, period. End of story. Because that's what I do. I help people eliminate pain through physical movement. Now, on the other side of that is mental and emotional, and that's about alignment. But so is physical pain. So let's talk about alignment. What's alignment about? Alignment is about where things sit in your life. So in my world, now this is mine. You can argue with me all day long. You're never going to change my mind, and that's fine. But I hope to nudge you to at least think about it. But in my life, it's God at the top, and then me. So I in my life, I can't have anything between me and God. Now, whatever you believe in spiritually, I'm hoping you have a higher power. I work with a lot of people in AA and recovery. And one of the first things they try to teach them is about having a higher power. Because if you lean on yourself, you will always lose. I've been saying that for years. Even before I started working in recovery. So nothing comes between me and my higher power. And then comes my wife. That's right. Before my kids. And sometimes that's hard. No. But my wife comes next. And your partner, and I don't mean a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You start putting your girlfriend and boyfriend between you and your family, because that's what's coming next. Your wife or family, kids. You're going to feel pain because that's not the appropriate place. Again, I didn't say you're going to agree with everything. I'm just giving you my perspective of what I've seen work in my life, in the lives of other people that I work with. So, in something, I just want you to think about it. Be open to thinking and growing. Because if you're not open to it, you're probably not anybody that's going to watch this anyways. So, God, Arnie, then my wife, then my kids, and family, and then friends, and then job. Yeah, down there. Job, and then stuff. Because we keep going. So we have this nice alignment. So what happens? Well, if I put my job, and for most people, a job is a thing they do for somebody else to get reimbursed with money. If all their time is spent on their job, or a big chunk of time is on their job, and you are skipping over your significant other, you're skipping over family, then you're going to start to feel some pain. You're going to start feeling some pain in your life because your alignment, it's like your neck. Neck is out of alignment. It hurts. Okay, so if your life is out of alignment, it starts to hurt. So if you're again, God at the top, higher power, then you. So let's go to you first. If you're not nurturing you, you know, it's kind of interesting that God, in my world, God wants me to love my neighbor as I love myself. Well, what if you don't love yourself? I always think about that. I have clients that don't love themselves. That's what we're working on. How to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, I don't want that person loving me that way. That's called hate. Okay. So that's why you got to focus on you first, because then you can overflow that love. So eventually, if you're loving you, that overflow of love goes to your neighbor, your friends, your family, your spouse. But it all starts with you, because you're just a grumpy old person or a unhappy individual. I was talking with a nurse friend of mine at the gym today, and she was telling me about her daughter, 14-year-old daughter, who literally scored at the top of the charts for anxiety and depression. And I said, well, actually, that's kind of common today. And I said, we owe these young people a big apology for what we've done to them with, online school and all this other craziness and all the negativity, hate going on. Yeah, we owe them an apology for what we're doing here to them. And we're going to pay a big price for this. We will pay, because we have created a misalignment in their life. A misalignment in their life, confusion. And when things are confused, it's painful. So confusion is misalignment. So if they're not sure that what they're supposed to be doing, like loving themselves, there's pain. So, but it starts with you, because how can you teach them to love themselves if you don't love yourself? Won't work, because the young people are watching you. You're the role model for them. So if you're not a very good role model, there you go. We got a problem. So we got to love ourselves. Okay. So now let's tie it back the other way. So one of the ways to love yourself is to take care of this body that you've been given, this special, amazing body. And if you're not nurturing it, if you're not working it appropriately with healthy exercise, good nutrition, and all the things that you're supposed to do, it won't work right. It will cause you pain. So now you're going to have a different kind of pain. Instead of mental and emotional pain, you're going to have physical pain. Yeah, because a lot of pain is related to what's called inflammation. So if you're creating inflammation in your body, it's like a a Twinkie, you squeeze the Twinkie, you get this cream stuff that comes out, right? Well, just your body will do the same thing. You put pressure on your body, and whatever you got inside is going to come out. And if you've got all this inflammation, you're going to get a lot of pain that comes out of you. Yeah, it's funny because a lot of the stuff I do physically is I compress the joints. So by compressing the joints, we put pressure on the tendons and ligaments. Okay. That's how they grow. Because like a diamond, you compress it, release, compress it. And pretty soon you got a diamond. You're compressing rock and carbon and coal, and you get a diamond. Okay. So the other day we were talking about how people were feeling joint pain. You've heard that before. Oh, my joints ache because it's getting cold. It's kind of rainy and moist, and my joints hurt. Hear it all the time. And so I asked one of the individuals I was working with, who's got a lot of reasons to have joint pain. back fusions, 2 total knee replacements, all kind of stuff. But he's doing a lot of things that are creating compression. Get it? So I asked him, we call him Pap. I go, Pap, you got any pain? He looked at me and goes, no, not really. And this is a guy 7 months ago that's all he talked about was how much pain he was in. So what's the difference? He's been compressing his joints. And so he's getting less or zero pain. So when people talk to me about their pain, I listen. And I'm not going to argue with them. Oh, no, that's not pain. Because it is. To them, it's real pain. It hurts. But unless you're far enough into pain care, I was working with a couple ladies a little while. Well, earlier this morning. So when I was done, I was showing them some things for knee pain. And they were really amazed, like, wow, this is amazing. I feel better. This is crazy. And one of them looks at me and she goes, but I would never get my husband to do this. I said, why not? Well, he's got a lot of really bad knee pain. I go, okay. And I looked at her friend. I go, obviously, he's not far enough into pain cave yet. Now, that's easy to say when we're talking about physical pain. So now let's swing back onto the mental and emotional pain. How far do we want to go down in that cave? That's the one that really hurts. That's the one that goes deep. And it's nasty. Because it just hurts. It's a different kind of pain, isn't it? It's when our life is totally in chaos. And that's the kind of pain that can lead to some really serious issues. That's the kind of pain that can lead to suicide. That's the kind of pain that can lead to massive depression. That's the kind of pain that will disrupt not just your life, but others in your life. So others' lives. And so this is the kind of misalignment that needs to be addressed almost at the root of where is it coming from? Where is it coming from in that hierarchy? And normally when I'm working with individuals, it comes from you or no higher power. So that's where I start. I don't start with, what's going on with Uncle Joe or Aunt Molly or little Timmy down the road, because you're never going to change them anyways. But you can change your higher power and you can change you. So that's where we start. And that's where we're going to take this right when we get back from our break. So hang on. We'll talk more about alignment and the key to pain-free living. All right, we are back. So we've been talking about alignment. We've been talking about how it affects our physical pain, and we're talking about how it affects us mentally and emotionally as well. And we were just talking about how when our personal alignment is out of alignment, our personal life is out of alignment, it hurts. Just like physically, when your neck is out, it hurts. And how we just talked about how we can change things physically pretty quick. But now we're back over into our personal life. And if we don't start with our higher power, or God in my life, and ourselves, everything else becomes really difficult. So that's where I normally start. So if you're somebody that doesn't have a belief, we talk about it. And because it's awful hard to just deal with life on your own terms, on you. Because most likely you is worn out. And so you trying to help you is not a good combination. But what you can do is lean on a higher power. And that takes faith. And faith is not a religious term. Faith is a term that means you believe in something you can't see, hear, or touch. It's something that you believe, okay, can bring you whatever it might be, relief, strength, okay, calmness, love, whatever you're looking for, and some emotion, usually some emotion. So we start there. We start with your higher power. We start with you. What can you change? And I don't know. I mean, sometimes awareness is that first step to the healing process. It's the first step to that proper alignment in your life. So if you look in the mirror and you say, okay, Arnie, man, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of, okay, let's stay with the physical stuff. I'm sick of the fact that I can't walk around the block without being in excruciating pain. Or I can't get on my bike and ride because it kills me. Or I can't go to the gym and use gym equipment because it's too painful, or I don't have time, or whatever it might be. Okay, great. So, Arnie, what can you do? What can you do that doesn't hurt? And that's where you start. And I have to look in the mirror and say, that's where I'm going to start. I don't care how pathetic it might be. Maybe it's just sitting in a chair and moving my arms around. Can I do that? Yeah. You know where I learned that from? When you work with quadriplegics, that's somebody who has a spinal cord injury at this level right here. And they can't do anything except maybe this. And some of them, if they're really lucky, can do this. They can move a finger. Can't move their arms very much, a little bit, the biceps maybe, but they can do this. And I'll always ask them, because I got accused years ago. Oh, you're the guy that tells everybody they can walk. No, I'm the guy that tells them, that's not going to tell them that they can't walk. It's not my decision. It's God's decision and theirs. Because I've seen people walk. So why would I tell anybody what they can't do? But what I will do is say, what can you do? And I go, can you do that? Yeah, I can do that. Can you lift an arm? No, not really. Can you do this? And they'll go, I can move a finger. Perfect. That's where we're going to start. That's where we're going to start. And I've seen so many people over the last 40, almost 42 years that I've been coaching and helping people that will look me in the eye or literally tell me, Arnie, coach, I can't do that. What can't you do? Well, I can't go to the gym. I go, why? Well, because I don't have 2 hours. What do you mean? Well, I need 2 hours. That's how long you need to work out or get a good work. No, you don't. Well, I don't have an hour. What do you mean? Why do you need an hour? Because that's how long you need. No, it's not. And it might get to the point where I could say, you just need 5 minutes. What do you mean? Well, can you move for 5 minutes? Well, that's not going to do anything. Well, yeah, it's going to help you to move for 5 minutes. What good is that going to do? It's a start. Because mentally, when you can tell yourself that I can move for 5 minutes, over time, it might take a week, 2 weeks, a month, you'll say, well, I can do 10 minutes. What do you mean? Yeah, I just found another 5 minutes. And over time, maybe another month, you might go, well, I can do it for 20 minutes. What do you mean? I just found another 10 minutes, maybe, or maybe only 5 more minutes. I don't know. But after 2 months, if you're doing 15 or 20 minutes, that's a whole lot better than nothing. Is it not? So even if you drove to the gym, ran inside, walked around for 5 minutes, jumped back in your car, came back, or maybe you don't even have to go to the gym. Maybe you just get your butt up and walk around in your bedroom for 5 minutes, or your living room for 5 minutes, or climb, if you can climb stairs. Some people can't. Maybe you have stairs. Maybe you have stairs in your apartment building. I'm going to go outside and walk up and down the stairs for 5 minutes. Good for you. That's your start. So maybe another month you're up to another 5 minutes or another 10 minutes. I don't know. So maybe after 90 days, you're exercising for 30 minutes or 20 minutes. I don't know. Or 15 minutes. I don't really care. It's better than zero. So your 90-day challenge might be, hey, I'm going to work out every day. Or I'm going to work out 4 days a week. Or I'm going to exercise 3 days a week. Or I'm going to exercise 2 days a week. Or maybe even 1 day a week. It's better than zero. So after 90 days, you're somewhere in there. From 1 to 7. I like to choose 7. You know why? Because, chances are I'm not going to get 7, but I might get 3, might get 2. Chances are I'll do better than 1, but I don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows until you know. Nobody knows until you know how much you're doing. So there you go. So now you've started. You're moving after 90 days. You've got things going on, and you've created a habit, and now you're getting results. Because see, during that first 90 days, it's going to be really hard to get results. And that's what usually chases everybody away. But after you stick around for 90 days, now you start to get results, start to feel better. Maybe your clothes fitting a little different. Maybe, I don't know. And now you look in front of that mirror and you go, you know what? I'm starting to like you a little bit. Now we're swinging back over until that personal alignment in your personal life, because you're starting to like yourself. So you're starting to like yourself a little bit, and you're leaning on God a little bit, and God, keep me coming. God, keep me exercising, keep me getting up in the morning, or stopping after work, or whatever. Keep me on track, God. I need your help. I need your strength to keep doing this. I can do this. I know I can. Because see, if you're not your number one cheerleader, you may not have any cheerleaders, except God's always going to be your cheerleader. But if you're waiting for somebody else to be your cheerleader, good luck. May not happen, but you may. Because see, after a while, people are going to notice, hey, Arnie, I noticed you've been walking around the block almost every day. That's awesome. That's amazing. Good for you. Pretty soon, you got another cheerleader. Look at that. Why? Because you showed up. Maybe it's somebody in your family. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. I noticed you've been walking every day. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. Don't make the mistake, because this is where we all go. Oh, It would be really great if you came with me. Oh boy. Now you put the guilt thing on them. They don't want to do that, or they would have jumped in earlier. And now you're making yourself feel, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. And this is hard because I don't have anybody with me. Get your phone out, download some books and start listening to some books or podcasts or music. I don't really care. But you take care of you. Remember our alignment. God, then you. We're focusing right here on you. This is not about, well, let's focus on what your kids think about you. That's a loser. We'll say it a better way. That's a loser's bet. Hey, guys, come join Coach Arnie, and he's going to help you get your alignment right so your kids think you're really cool. Loser's bet. Hey, come work with Coach Arnie, and he's going to help you love yourself and love God or your higher power. That's a winner. That's a winner's bet, and it's a winner every time. Every time. Never loses. Guaranteed winner. Guaranteed. Didn't say maybe, I said guaranteed. One of the things that I'm really confident about when I taught, I actually got a new client because somebody on Facebook was complaining about hip pain or something. Yeah, IT band. It's a very common pain that causes knee pain. And I said, message me. And he did. And then I called him. And first thing I said is, oh yeah, I can guarantee you I can get rid of that in a couple of days. And he goes, just the way you said that made me want to continue the conversation. But I meant it because I knew if he did what I wanted him to do, that he would eliminate that pain in his hip. Now, if he called me and he had all these problems going on, I couldn't do that, but he didn't. I looked at his profile. I knew he was an athlete. I knew he had some other stuff going on there. And I knew that if he just listened to me, it would go away. And he goes, just by you being confident, I wanted to talk to you more. And so, but I'm saying the same thing to you. If you listen to me and you work on you and your relationship with your higher power for the next 90 days, I already know sometime in January, February, March, sometime at the end of March, you're going to be going, hey, Arnie, hey, Jim, hey, Mary, I like you. Or I'm starting to like you. You're pretty good. You're showing up. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're eating better. You're loving yourself more. You're taking care of yourself. Maybe you got a new hairstyle. I don't know. Whatever you're doing, you're liking it. That's a great place to be in the spring of this year. It's a great place to launch your year or your quest, your journey to pain-free living. Because now you're working on the internal stuff. Remember that cream we talked about with the Twinkie? Now you're starting to put some pretty good stuff in here. See, and along the way, you're working on the outside stuff, the physical. So you're going to start feeling better. You're going to have a little less pain in those joints. And so if you're doing things right. Now, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people don't do things right, and they create problems. Like, I'm going to be a runner. I'm going to run a 10K or a half marathon. And you start going out and run, 2 weeks later, you got shin splints, you got blisters on your feet, your knees hurt. You're a train wreck. Now you're worse off. Now you're on the couch moaning and groaning. Oh, I tried it. It didn't work. No, you didn't. You didn't do it right. No, I'm not saying that's a mistake. It's only a mistake if you choose to quit. But if you say, hey, look, maybe I need to get some help with this thing, and you get a hold of a running coach or a trainer or somebody that's knowledgeable and say, hey, look, can you help me? I screwed all this up. I'm the injury prevention guy or injury rehab guy at the gym where I'm at. So I had a big college football player was there, and the guy working with him said, Can you help him? He's got shin splints. I said, absolutely. Come over here. I gave him a formula. I call it my 24-hour formula. And I made him do it right before he left. He did everything I asked him to do. Came back the next day. And I said, how are you feeling? He goes, I feel pretty good. I go, really? I go, here's what I'd like for you to do. I do your warm-ups and all that stuff. And let me know if it hurts. And he did his warm-ups. And then I had him do just one little stretch. Kind of a thing that I want him to do every day, which he's been doing. And guess what? I asked him again today. So it's been a week. I go, how are the shins? Oh, they're fine. Now, see, this is the kind of stuff that can happen to you too. If you just listen and do what you need to do to get things in the proper alignment. But again, his problem is not liking himself. His problem, he just wants to get bigger, faster, and stronger. That would be a great way for all of us to get to, because that means we've battled through all the other stuff. I need you to get that first 90 days where you're feeling good about yourself, that you're willing to do the things you need to do. Like I always have 5 questions I like to ask, because I was coach on this. Do I really want it? Do I really want my life to feel better? I don't know. The lady today with her husband, and I said, well, maybe he's not far enough in the pain cave yet. Maybe you're not either. It's January 5th. Not enough pain yet. When do I want it by? Is there a date? I mean, do you want to be feeling better about yourself by the end of March? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. And so if that's what you want to do by the end of March, then you can, if it's important to you. If it's important to you. Okay. And then why is it a must? Why must you do it? Why must you do it? If it's losing weight, if it's getting a little more energy, if it's feeling just feeling better in general, then it'll become a must. But it's got to be important. It's got to be important. Okay. And then what am I willing to do? Am I willing to get up in the morning? Maybe not. Am I willing to stop in after work? Maybe not. Am I willing to do it at my lunchtime? So I'm doing a fun little program that I got my niece and my grandson involved in. And I sent it to 4 people. One was a client and one was my other grandson. And I said, hey, look, a friend of mine has a program where you can read the Bible in 1 year. And 2 of them jumped at it. And we kind of keep each other accountable, but everybody's keeping accountable throughout this massive program where there's thousands of people doing this. And it was disruptive to my normal reading that I do. But I thought, I made a commitment. I said, I heard about it. I knew she was doing this. And I said, I'm going to commit to this year and do it. And if I can get some other people to come on, because no one's going to do what I do, because I just randomly just work through stuff. And so we started. We started 2 days ago. So this is our 3rd day. And we're all we're doing it. And I know I'm going to do it. But I know this, if these guys, it's going to be hard for them. This is new. So I've been reading for years. And if by the end of March, 90 days, it's not 21 days. That's a great start. That's Stephen Covey. I love him to death. 21 days create a habit. I know this. 90 days creates a massive change. So at the end of March, if we're still working through this, because it's right on your phone, it's right here. In 90 days, if they'll just stay with it, they will have a different habit will be created. Their alignment with themselves will be so much better because they're going to be working on that spiritual, that higher power and themselves because they've completed something, and it's going to flow down into the rest of their life. And if you can do the same thing, starting with yourself, and maybe it starts with movement. Maybe you are in pain right now. Maybe you have knee pain or back pain. Maybe you can figure that out. Talk to somebody. Talk to me. You can get a hold of me. And you start getting that knee feeling better, that back feeling better, that foot feeling better, that neck feeling better, and you can do something. Maybe it's just going for a walk or going for a swim in the pool, whatever. Ride that stationary bike, walk on the treadmill. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Moving a finger. And then from there, we can get that flow. Remember, the flow into feeling better about yourself. Because if God says love your neighbor like you love yourself, we got to get you loving yourself first. It's not selfish to love yourself first. And if you think that it is, then this is the wrong conversation. I'm the wrong person for you. You need to go to somebody else that says, love everybody else. And then you can continue to crap on yourself. That's not me. I'm not your guy. I'm the wrong guy for you. I'm the guy that says, love yourself and then share it with everybody, because that's where it starts. And that's where alignment gets nailed, tight as a rail. And when you love yourself and your alignment in your personal life is rock solid, all that pain in your life is going to go away. All that pain in your joints is going to go away. It's a promise. It always works. It never doesn't work. Here's what doesn't work. When you don't work it, it doesn't work. When you work it, it works. I promise you. All right, guys. Hey, look, this is Coach Arnie. You can get a hold of me anytime you want, 602-390-9144. Hopefully I'll be sharing more of my websites and stuff as we get cranking here and get this all figured out. But hey, look, let's get yourself lined up and challenge yourself to be on your path in 90 days. That's your 90-day challenge. What's that path? I don't know. But I know this. It can and will be better than where you're at today if you start. Remember, move that finger. All right, guys. Love you. And happy January. Let's go. It's time to rock and roll.